everybody, and happy Monday. It is not the beginning of the month, but it is the beginning of a new week, and you guys know how excited I get about the beginning of really anything, honestly, but especially today, because technically, no, it's not April 1st, but it is the beginning of our new series that we're going to kick off for the next 2 months. So I'm really excited about today. And today's beginning and everything that's going to be brought forward in this new series. Today has been an interesting day for me. I'm not going to lie. I woke up and I was feeling kind of good. I actually woke up a little bit later than I wanted to, but that's because my night was a little strange too. I didn't feel well in the middle of the night. So I was back and forth to the restroom, which is TMI, but we're all friends and family here, right? Anyway, so as a result of that, I woke up a little later than expected. And, but the blessing in that was that my day today was very light. I did not have a lot of meetings or anything like that. So it was pretty cool. Then I got some news, not terrible news, honestly, just news that's forcing me to adult in a way that I did not want to adult, at least right now. So it's forcing me to pull back and step back in some areas so that I can focus my attention in other areas. And honestly, I started to get a little anxious. I'm not going to lie. You guys know, if you've been on this journey with me, you guys know that sometimes anxiety creeps up with me depending on situations that are going on. And that definitely happened today. Like I could feel myself start to worry and get anxious and just get frustrated and annoyed and upset with myself. But God is so faithful. God is so faithful, and he makes sure, the way that he looks out for me, honestly, is one that I don't deserve, but he was looking out today. And so even though I'm still having to adult in ways that I don't want to adult, it's all working itself out in the end. So I am grateful for wake up call. Honestly, that's what it was. It was like, sis, get your life together. You've been acting like this. You've been acting like your life was leading you in this direction, and really, I need you to focus in this direction. So a wake-up call, a necessary one, not necessarily one that I wanted, but, one that I needed. Anyway, that is not the focus for today. Honestly, today's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter video just because we're introducing what our series is for the next couple of months. And then we'll have a couple of more videos, a couple more posts later in the week to really hone in on what we're going to be focusing on and talking about for the next 2 months. And it's so, so very important. So without any further ado, let's get it kicked off. As always, God is blessing us. He's always going to be blessing us. Our series for the next 2 months, and I'll probably have it displayed here because I've been doing some really fancy things with effects and stuff like that. But it's our Worth series, okay? Our Worth series. And the reason I'm so excited about that is because we are just off of the heels of our Purpose series. And if you followed along with that, you know that honestly the videos were a little intermittent, but all in all with the Purpose series, the main thing was to make sure that we understood who we are, what we were created to do, and then actively working or living and breathing and dwelling and fulfilling out that purpose every single day of our lives. So that's very important. Again, whenever you're starting anything new, to understand not just the purpose, not just your purpose within that situation, but also the purpose that the situation is serving. Okay. What are you supposed to be getting from that situation anyway? So purpose really, I think I mentioned this at the beginning of this year, at the end of last year. Purpose will probably always be a topic of focus at the beginning of every new year because I want to make sure that we don't get lost in the sauce. A lot of times throughout the year, as we're going through, it's very easy for us to get lost in not only what our purpose was, but what the purpose of whatever situation that we're in is there to serve for us. And if we lose sight of that, it's going to be very hard for us to live those blessed and abundant and fulfilling lives because we are just doing stuff out of randomness, basically, out of randomness. But anyway, I like going, or I'm happy that we're talking about worth next, because even if you know your purpose, okay, even if you know what you were destined to do, what you were created to do, even if you are doing that every single day, in order to be very efficient and effective in how you are living out your purpose is making sure that you 100% know your worth and your value, and you're allowing that to spill out into the situations or the people that are around you. And the reason for that being is because if you are doing things that are devaluing you, or you're not doing things to the degree of which you are worth, even if you're in your purpose, you're still not going to be fulfilled. And I know that's very contradictory to what we talked about in the purpose series. Not very contradictory, but it has some contradicting points. But again, there's a lot of things that really play into it, because you could be living in your purpose, but if you don't also understand your worth within life in general, even if you're doing things within your purpose, it's going to be very hard for you to feel fulfilled, because there's still going to be something that you think is missing based off of how you based off of the value that you've placed on yourself, honestly, which we're going to make sure that we define what our value is, what our worth is, not necessarily to our standards. Like, yes, that's important, but our standards need to line up with our creator standards. And we'll talk about why that is later. I was about to have the whole series be in one video. Would have been too long. But today, of course, we're just going to define Today we're just going to define worth and allow that to set us up for these next couple of weeks as we're talking about worthiness and what our worth is and how we can use that worth not only to help fulfill ourselves, but also to help live out our purpose in a more effective manner. So the definition of worth means worth is the value equivalent to that of something or someone under consideration. And I love that under consideration part is because there really is no conversation about worth if you are not considering or caring or thinking about that which the value is to be placed. For example, my pen, which if you guys notice from last Be Blessed, this is one of my favorite pens. I'm not going to focus on the pen, but I'm just saying my birthday is coming up. So anyway, if I did not care anything about this pen, or I wasn't considering purchasing this pen, I would not even look at the price. The price, the value, the worth of this pen would not be a determining factor on anything. Why? Because I'm not considering purchasing this pen. I'm not considering this pen to be of use to me. And so the reason that that's important, or the reason I like that particular portion of the definition, is because the first step in understanding our worth is knowing that we have been considered, okay? And that right there, like, I can almost cry thinking about that. And I almost get a little bit of chills thinking about that, is because you, me, everyone watching this, listening to this, whether you're doing it today, February 5th, I don't even know what today is, Jesus. You, me, anyone watching this, anyone listening to this, whether you're doing it today, April 5th, 2021, or you're doing it years from now, or days from now, or weeks from now, or whenever, we have been considered. And what does that mean? It means that someone, and really that someone is Jesus Christ, but someone cares so much about us that they decided that we are worth something, okay? We are worth something. And again, we're going to talk about that worth a little bit later on in the series. But what we want to focus on now, and really the rest of this week, is the fact that we have already been considered. That's the first step, is being considered, okay? The first step when you're going to purchase things is considering what you're going to purchase. Am I going to purchase this pen, or am I going to purchase this pen? Okay? We've been considered. We have worth, we have value, because we were already under consideration. Moving forward on that, it's important to know that we don't want to sell ourselves short on anything. Okay, so even though someone's considering our purchase, or someone is considering our value, we already need to come to the table knowing what our value is. Okay, even though I'm considering purchasing this pen, do you think I can go up to Walmart counter and negotiate the price of this pen? No. Why? Because the price has already been established for this pen or this pack of pens. So when we're thinking about that in the future, again, not only are we under consideration, but our price has already been determined, and we're not selling ourselves short for nobody, for no situation, or none of that. And that's just that on that. So yes, that is our series. Again, very excited to kick this off. Also, I am going to announce, and I think I've announced this earlier too, stay tuned, because in May, hopefully, prayerfully, if you guys are praying for me, please, I will be launching the website for Be Blessed, where all of the videos and the blog posts and things like that will be stored. I'll still be posting on Facebook, still be posting on Instagram, but it's just a more centralized location, and YouTube, of course. It's just a more centralized location for all of that information to be found. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, okay? And I'm excited. So hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and I will talk to you guys a little later on. Bye.